A landlord in Seattle was so frustrated with the eviction moratorium that he took out a full-page ad. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's coming out of Seattle, Washington. And as you know, I've covered Seattle many times in my videos. So Seattle is known as being one of the most tenant-friendly places in the entire country, if not the most tenant-friendly place in the entire country. And sounds like that there is a landlord up there who is just super duper frustrated with everything going on and just had to, let it out. But before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment down below and let me know. Would you put out a full page article? Would you invest in Seattle? I know I would never invest in Seattle, even if they were giving properties away, because it would just cost me money in the long run. Okay? I don't have, the real estate prices are so high, I don't have enough money to afford a property up there. But on top of that, once you do own a property in Seattle, you are under the control of the tenants, of the government, of everyone else but you with what you can do with that property, okay? So I don't want to be placed in that sort of situation. So this article that comes from Kiro7.com, and it says, longtime landlord takes out full-page ad to decry eviction moratorium. Let's see what it says. A long-time landlord says he is fed up with surly tenants and politicians who don't know what it's like to own property. That is why he took out a full-page ad in the Seattle Times to say it. He says he has owned more than 100 rental properties in Keslow, Washington over the last 40 years. But pretty soon, he says, he will be mostly out of the landlord business. The full-page newspaper ad shows he is not leaving quietly. And wow, okay, so this guy, owned over 100 properties, been, a landlord for over 40 years, and got so fed up with all of the regulations, all of the frustrations of being a landlord in a very tenant-friendly place that he's expressing himself, okay? And he's absolutely right. The tenants and politicians have no clue what it takes to be a landlord. Okay, they have no clue the expenses we face. They have no clue how slim our profit margins can be. They have no clue. Okay, they never talk to us about anything. They put rules and laws and regulations into place without thinking of the consequences and what we have to do in order to make those kind of things work. Okay, I mean, just as an example, here in Omaha, they put a rental registration into place, and they were going to have mandatory rental inspections, but then they come to find that, hey, this might not be constitutional because it actually would be like the government could come in and do a search without a warrant. So the judges here in Nebraska just threw the rental inspection thing out. You can't just go in and search a tenant's property without their permission to come in, okay? So yeah, I mean, you can't do that. They didn't even think that kind of thing through. They all the time, they're trying to punish the worst landlords, okay? The worst landlords make up less than 1% of all the landlords out there. They try to get those guys, and then the other 99% of us, we end up suffering the consequences of that. Oh, man, and it's frustrating. To all landlords, please refuse to rent anything during October as a way of protesting the illegal no eviction rule, said Don Cullen as he read from the newspaper ad that he says set him back $4,200. It's money he was willing to pay because he is so angry about yet another announcement from Governor Jay Inslee, delivered this time on Thursday, that the state's eviction moratorium won't expire now until the end of October. The governor says the extension will help tenants access federal money to pay back rent. Well, how long is it going to take? They've had so long for these tenants to be able to get this back rent, to get this federal money. And they keep extending. Oh, well, they need more time. They need more time. And then guess what? At the end of October, what happens after October? It starts getting cold. And I believe that I read that Seattle is the place that says that they can't evict any tenants during the winter. Okay? And even so, now we're going all the way up into 2022. So now we're up in 2022. It's spring. It's starting to warm up again. Oh, wait. I believe Seattle is the place that says that they can't evict any tenants with children during the school year, or they can't evict teachers during the school year. So yeah, basically now you're stuck all the way up until June. So landlords have a 1 month window or a 2 month window when they can actually evict tenants. No. Okay, the place is ridiculous. This landlord's absolutely right to be frustrated, and I don't blame him for, making it known. Cullen says it is a wrong-headed move. The politicians have never owned property, said Cullen. Many of them have never owned property, so they have no idea about the maintenance and the things that are required. He is not alone. Landlords are becoming more vocal about their opposition to decisions that they say is taking money out of their pockets, but their voices appear to be drowned out by tenants, especially in cities like Seattle, where the mayor has extended the eviction moratorium until early next year. Cullen says the governor's act will ultimately hurt the tenants he wants to help. He has single-handedly ruined the credit rating of hundreds of people in this state, if not thousands, Cullen said. Who's going to rent to a non-payer? And he's absolutely right, okay? So what you have is you have a whole bunch of tenants in there. They're going to end up with even more debt, okay? Landlords are not just going to let that slide. They're going to hit these tenants' credit ratings. They're going to, they're going to go sue them, get judgments put on them, try to get any of their back due rent that they can from these tenants. Their credit is going to be ruined, and it's not going to help because a lot of these tenants, they're either not going to apply for rental assistance or they don't qualify, but they are protected by the eviction moratorium. Now, that doesn't make much sense, does it? But that's the way it works up in Seattle. Now, he hopes this ad will spur landlords to join his protest to show how the eviction moratoriums are hurting them. If so, they may have to do it without him. I'm getting out, he declared. Oh, I only have a few houses left. I'm fed up. Cullen says he has paid another $4,200 to run this ad again next Monday. But that's not all. He's planning to pay for a third ad. He plans to ask the Times for a price break. He says he hopes that landlords will evict tenants who don't pay as soon as they can. And I hope so too, okay? And, I feel for this guy, okay? He's been doing this for 40 years. And this eviction moratorium was enough to spur him to start selling his properties and get completely out of the rental property business and stop trying to buy more properties. And he's fed up, he's frustrated. I don't blame him one bit. One thing I will say is that he should get out of the state of Seattle, if nothing else, or the state of Washington. He should get out of Washington state because things there just aren't going to change. They're not going to get better. You can still invest in real estate in places like Nebraska, where I live, or in the Midwest, or in the South, where the landlords still have rights, where the tenants just can't run roughshod over us and steal all of our money and do whatever they want with our properties, and we have nothing that we can do about it. So yeah, for this guy, I feel for you, but man, it's crazy that he was even put into this kind of situation in the first place.